He would play all day long, listen to Jimi Hendrix and Kiss. Those were his two biggest bands. And I would go to sleep around 10 or 10:30, and he would still be playing guitar in the room. And I'd beg him to stop because I need to go to sleep, and he'd play for another 2 hours.
Hillel's incessant guitar playing made a huge impression on Flea.
At the time, I didn't like rock music at all. When I was a kid, I just thought rock music was for idiots. I liked Louis Armstrong, Dizzy Gillespie. I wanted to be a jazz trumpet player. He's the first person who got me to listen to rock music. He's just like, this is Jimi Hendrix, listen to this, and Zeppelin, and, you know, I was like, wow.
When they were 16, Hillel taught Flea how to play bass, and soon they started a band.
Flea loved playing with Hillel a lot, and they had a supremely magical musical connection that you know, doesn't really happen that often.
Anthony, Flea, and Hillel graduated from high school in 1980, but the friends remained inseparable. The trio knocked around for a few years. Anthony did a short stint at UCLA, while Flea and Hillel continued to pursue music. Then one night in the summer of '83, Anthony, on a whim, joined his friends on stage. The band improvised while Anthony rapped a poem he'd written entitled Out in L.A.
Something very volcanic occurred when we all went up there, and we had no idea what to expect. It was just for the hell of it, and it was so much fun. Something really special happened that night.
We had one song that played for 3 minutes, you know. The club owner said, I want you guys to come back, and we came back and played. And we had like 3 songs this next time. And literally it was like lines around the block right away.
Out of that single impromptu performance, the Red Hot Chili Peppers were unexpectedly born. Accidentally, they had created a whole new genre, a potent mixture of rap, funk, and thrash that launched a revolution in rock. Next, the Chili Peppers sound falls on deaf ears.
You know, I used to play this music for, you know, friends of mine, and they would just be like, what is that? Oh, you gotta be kidding.
And later, heroin takes hold.
You know, when we started doing hard drugs, we never thought, oh, this is dangerous, or oh, this could kill.
In the summer of 1983, a spontaneous one-off performance at a dive bar on LA's Sunset Strip had given birth to a new and curiously original band.
It was just wild. We were out of control. We were wild. The band was out of control. Everything we did was over the top, and that music was a part of it.
Literally overnight, the newly formed Red Hot Chili Peppers became the darlings of Hollywood's underground club scene. Then in the fall of '83, they pulled a stunt that thrust them into the limelight.
We were playing a place called the Kit Kat Club, which was a strip bar. And I think by this time maybe we had 4 or 5 songs.
They may have been short on songs, but the boys rose to the occasion when the crowd begged for more. For their encore, Anthony, Flea, Hillel, and drummer Jack Irons returned to the stage, sporting nothing but tube socks.
And so we were backstage, and we were all nervous and excited, and should we do this, should we do this? Hey, let's just do it, let's just do it.
I saw the first sock deal, the very first one, and it's one of the most amusing things I ever did see in my life.
It felt great to be on stage naked, you know, with this sort of exaggerated phallus, you know, dangling between our legs. And there's always the element of danger because, you know, someone could reach up and grab the sock off her. It was a gas.
Word quickly spread of the Red Hot Chili Peppers' outrageous display. Within weeks, they were performing to sold-out crowds at LA's hippest clubs.
When I first saw them play, I'd never seen such freedom on stage. Flea was playing so aggressively that he'd worn a hole in his thumb. And he was literally screaming in pain between each song because it hurt so bad. And someone kept coming out and pouring crazy glue into the hole.
Flea's unique style of slap bass, fused with Hillel's searing guitar work, gave the band a sound never heard before.
Hillel was very magical.
He was an amazing musician, Hillel. He had this style that was very his own, very unique. I loved Hillel. We all did.
He always wanted to create new music. It was all about creating a whole new sound. He didn't want to be like everybody else.
By the end of '83, the Red Hot Chili Peppers were the most talked about band in Southern California. And to the surprise of their critics, the Chili Peppers landed a record deal just 6 months after they first rocked in their socks.
Red Hot Chili Peppers landed a deal with an EMI subsidiary, and it was like, what? How did that happen? I don't get it.
Over the next couple of years, the Chili Peppers released 2 albums. The first, they say, failed to capture the essence of their sound. So for their second album, Freaky Styley, they recruited legendary producer and funk master George Clinton.
I wanted to be on the scene with whoever was going to be doing the funk when he came back and be not old school, but part of what was happening then. And the Chili Peppers was that raw, straight out, free your mind, your ass will follow. You rock out with your out. You know what I'm saying?
Under Clinton's guidance, the Chili Peppers refined their revolutionary blend of funk, punk, and rock.
It was the best thing ever, being embraced by George Clinton, such a prolific force in the history of music. You know, in this century, one of the greatest, liked us.
After the release of Freaky Styley, the band toured non-stop. Mainstream FM was still spinning hair bands, but college radio was getting hot for the Chili Peppers.
The Chili Peppers' strength was that anybody who came to the show just went bonkers. I mean, they were awesome live.
The Chili Peppers played hard and partied harder. Casual drug use had long been a part of Flea, Anthony, and Hillel's routine. But in '85, dope was starting to drive them apart. Anthony, who had been an occasional heroin user, was now hooked.
It really kind of ended up sinking its teeth into me, you know, over the course of a couple of years maybe, where I would do it one weekend and then, you know, go to band practice every day. And I'd say, I won't do that for a couple of weeks. And then it would be, oh, I won't do that for a week. And then, oh, I won't do that for a few days. Well, I did just do it yesterday, but this will be the only time I do it 2 days in a row. And then, you know, I just started buying the lie.
Anthony wasn't the only one buying the lie. During the recording sessions for Freaky Styley, he discovered Hillel was secretly abusing heroin.
Hillel started a little bit later than I did and was equally as naive when our life was getting sucked away. We were just too swallowed up to be cognizant of it and so, whoa, we gotta stop this.